Hey everyone, Paul here. Welcome back to the channel. Let's start with a really eye-opening question.
Did you know that 60% of dog owners unknowingly reinforce bad behavior? It's a staggering number. It highlights something I see every single day. Well-meaning, loving dog parents who are accidentally making their lives more difficult, and their dogs' lives more difficult. We all want that incredible bond with our dogs, that seamless communication where they just get it. But sometimes, our own actions, the little things we do without a second thought, are building a wall between us and the well-behaved companion we dream of. The good news is, these are almost always easy fixes once you know what to look for. It's like finding the right key for a lock you've been struggling with. Suddenly, everything just clicks into place. We're not talking months of grueling training overhauls. We're talking small daily adjustments, massive positive shift in your dog's behavior, massive positive shift in your relationship with them. It's about understanding the why behind their actions and our reactions. If you've ever felt frustrated, if you've ever felt confused, if you've ever felt a little bit helpless with your dog's behavior, you are in the right place, and you are not alone. This is the video I wish I had when I first started my journey with dogs. Today, I'll reveal the daily mistakes dog owners make and how to correct them for a happier pet. We're gonna break it all down, step by step, so you can start making those positive changes the second this video ends.
Let's get into it. Alright, let's tackle the biggest and most common mistake first. Accidentally reinforcing bad behavior. This is the silent culprit behind so many persistent issues, jumping on guests' incessant barking at the window. It happens when we, without realizing it, give our dog something they want immediately after they do something we don't want. I did X and I got Y. I'm going to do X more often. It's not malice, it's just how they learn. Think about a dog that jumps on you when you walk in the door. Often it's to push them down, maybe say no, down. But while we're doing it, we're making eye contact and touching them, giving a huge burst of attention. For a dog who's waited all day, any attention is good attention. You've just rewarded the jump with the thing they wanted, your focus. The same principle applies to barking. A dog barks at the mail carrier. We rush to the window or shout, "Quiet." From the dog's perspective, they barked and their person joined the commotion. They interpret our presence and energy as participation. Another classic example is pulling on the leash. The dog pulls toward an interesting smell. By allowing forward motion with a tight leash, you've rewarded pulling. Every forward step with tension is a small treat. So how do we break this cycle? Become a slot machine that only pays out for good behavior. The moment unwanted behavior starts, shut the reward factory down. No treats, no attention, no praise, no forward movement. The world becomes uninteresting the second they start jumping, barking, or pulling. The quick corrective step has 3 parts: withhold, redirect, reward. Withhold. If your dog jumps, turn your back. Become a statue. Give 0 attention. If they pull, stop walking. Forward motion disappears. This creates a clear contrast for your dog. Redirect. Ask for an alternative, incompatible behavior. Let's move on to mistake number 2. Something that can undermine even the best training efforts. Inconsistent commands. This is a huge source of confusion and frustration for our dogs. Imagine if your boss used a different word every day for the same task. One day it's file this, the next, organize that, the day after collate these. You'd quickly become confused and unsure of what's expected of you. This is exactly what our dogs experience when we aren't consistent. This often happens in 2 main ways. The first is when a single person uses different words for the same cue. Maybe sometimes you say down when you want your dog to lie down, other times you say lay down, or even just go to bed. But for a dog who is learning a new language, yours, these are 3 distinct sounds. Another common pitfall is using a command as part of a sentence. You might say, "Buddy, will you come over here?" or "Come on, let's go." The dog hears a string of sounds, and the actual cue, come, is buried in the middle. They might eventually figure it out from your tone and body language. A command should be a clear, distinct word, not a casual suggestion embedded in conversation. The second, and perhaps more common form of inconsistency happens within a family or household. Dad says, "Off when the dog jumps on the couch," but mom says, "Get down." The kids might just physically push the dog off without saying anything. The dog is getting 3 different sets of instructions for the exact same behavior. It's impossible for them to learn the rule when the rule changes depending on who is in the room. This confusion can lead the dog to tune you out altogether. If the words coming out of your mouth are an unreliable predictor of what you want, why should they pay close attention? They might start relying solely on your body language or the presence of a treat, and the verbal cue becomes meaningless background noise. This is often when people say, "My dog is stubborn." More often than not, the dog is just confused. So what's the simple fix? It all comes down to one word: standardization. Hold a family meeting. Seriously. Get everyone who interacts with the dog in the same room and agree on a single, one-word cue for each behavior. Is it come or here? Is it down? Now for a mistake that has profound long-term consequences: a lack of proper socialization. Many people think socialization just means letting their puppy play with other dogs. While that's part of it, true socialization is so much bigger. It's about methodically and positively exposing your dog to all the sights, sounds, smells, experiences they will encounter, especially during their critical learning period as a puppy. When we fail to do this, we create a bubble around our dog. Inside the bubble, home. Inside the bubble, your family. Inside the bubble, their regular walk route. But anything outside that bubble, a person in a hat, a child on a skateboard, a loud truck, a dog of a different size becomes a potential threat. The dog's brain, lacking a positive or neutral file for this new thing, defaults to a primal response. The consequences are heartbreaking and often dangerous. You see it in the dog that barks and lunges at every other dog on a walk. This isn't usually aggression, it's fear. They are trying to make the scary thing go away. You see it in the dog that shies away from or growls at new people who enter the home. They aren't being mean, they are terrified and feel the need to defend their safe space. Everyday examples are everywhere. It's the owner who quickly crosses the street to avoid another dog, tightening the leash and telegraphing their own anxiety down to their pet. It's the person who avoids taking their dog to new places because he gets too stressed. While these actions are meant to protect the dog in the moment, they reinforce the bubble. They teach the dog that the world outside their tiny, familiar zone is indeed a scary place to be avoided. The key to preventing this, or to carefully fixing it, is gradual and positive exposure. It is not about flooding your dog by throwing them into a chaotic dog park and hoping for the best. That can do far more harm than good. Instead, it's about controlled, positive experiences. The goal is for your dog to form a new association, new thing, good thing, like a tasty treat. Let's say your dog is scared of people in hats. Don't force them to be pet by your hat-wearing friend. Instead, start at a distance. Have your friend stand 50 feet away while you give your dog high-value treats. The dog sees the hat, gets a treat. The hat is there, good things are happening. Over many sessions, you slowly decrease the distance, always keeping your dog under threshold. For dog-to-dog socialization, structured walks are fantastic. Find a friend with a calm, neutral dog. Start by walking on opposite sides of the street. You're walking in parallel, but with enough space that both dogs feel safe. Over time, you might close the distance, eventually walking on the same sidewalk, a few feet apart. Safe socialization exercises are about quality, not quantity. A 5-minute positive experience seeing a skateboard from 100 feet away is infinitely more valuable than a 30-minute, terrifying encounter up close. Your job is to be your dog's advocate and protector. Build their confidence by showing them, slowly and safely, that the world is not a scary place. You are their guide, and they need to trust that you will never put them in a situation they can't handle. This next mistake is a sensitive but incredibly important one: using improper or outdated training methods. In the age of the internet, we're bombarded with conflicting advice. It can be easy to fall for quick-fix promises that rely on harsh, punishment-based techniques. Things like prong collars, shock collars, e-collars, physical corrections like alpha rolls. These are often marketed as fast and effective, but they come at a tremendous cost. These methods, known as aversives, work by creating pain or fear. The idea: the dog associates the unwanted behavior with a negative sensation and stops doing it. Here's why these methods so often backfire spectacularly. They create negative associations. They learn, "Other dogs make my neck hurt." You are validating and increasing their fear and anxiety, making reactivity worse long-term. The alternative is more humane and vastly more effective: positive reinforcement. Reward the behavior you want to see. Instead of punishing the wrong choice, teach and heavily reward the right choice. That makes your dog an enthusiastic participant in training. They want to work with you because it's fun and rewarding. Instead of a leash pop for pulling, use a high-value treat for loose leash moments. Instead of yelling for jumping, teach that a polite sit earns praise and affection. You're building a new, better behavior in its place. You're communicating clearly what you want, not just what you don't. Timing matters in positive reinforcement too, but with a happier outcome. Use a marker word like yes or a clicker the instant your dog does the right thing, then reward. That yes captures the exact moment and says, "That, what you did earned this treat." This precision accelerates learning and builds confident, creative dogs eager to learn. It builds a partnership, not a dictatorship. Remember to keep your cues clean and sharp. Use their name, pause for a split second, then give the single-word command. Let's talk about our final common mistake. It's one that's often overlooked: a lack of adequate physical exercise and mental stimulation. We focus on behaviors, barking, chewing, and miss the bigger issue. Many problem behaviors are just symptoms. Your dog is bored. Think about why dogs exist. Herding. Then we ask them to sit in a house 8 to 10 hours a day. It's a recipe for disaster. That pent-up energy has to go somewhere. Without exercise, it shows up as zoomies, chewing, furniture, shoes, digging, tearing pillows, demand barking. Exercise is half the equation. Mental stimulation is the other half. A 15-minute training session or a puzzle toy that makes a dog think can be more tiring than a 30-minute run. Underused brains make their own puzzles. Trash can raids, couch cushion investigations, which is why a tired dog is often a good dog. Not exhausted, just satisfied. Meet their physical and mental needs, and they'll be calmer at home. Quick fixes. First, structure your walks. Don't make walks just potty breaks. Turn walks into joint activities. Practice loose leash walking and stops for sits or downs. Next, add puzzle and food dispensing toys. Ditch the bowl. Kong snuffle mat, food dispensing ball. Turn a 30-second meal into a 20-minute brain game. Finally, short training games, 5 minutes, a few times a day. Teach a new trick. Refresh old ones, play find it, hide treats around a room. These activities build your bond and tire their brain. Meet these needs, and you create a happier, more fulfilled life for your best friend. Instead of, "Bella, would you please come?" just say a cheerful, upbeat, "Bella, come." Use the exact same word, the exact same hand signal if you use one, and reward every success. So there you have it. 5 of the most common mistakes we see dog owners make every single day. Accidentally rewarding bad behavior. Using inconsistent commands. Lack of socialization. Using harsh methods. Forgetting about mental and physical exercise. These aren't about being a bad owner. They're about being a more mindful one. Small, conscious shifts in our routines can create massive positive changes. They deepen the bond you share with your dog. Remember, Every interaction is a training opportunity. I want to hear from you. Jump into the comments below. Have you made any of these mistakes? Had a light bulb moment? Share. It helps the whole community. If this helped, please like. Share it with a fellow dog lover. And subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Join membership for perks like early access and exclusive content. Use Super Thanks or Super Chat during live streams to get prioritized. Request a custom video about your dog. Name your dog and your name in the request. Thank you for watching. Now go give your dog a hug and play a game. I'll see you in the next video.